Well, she's a co-host for the Secret to Life coaching television show, author, motivational speaker, trainer, and vibrant radio show host and life coach radio. Please join me in welcoming Terha Tullius. Hey, Terha.
Hi, how's it going?
It's going great. We're so excited to have you on the show. We're all about motivation here and helping women and men alike to change their lives. And what better way than to have the Secret to Life coaching?
I love it. Well, you can't believe what's in store because it's amazing what's happening with us.
Well, tell us all about it.
You know, one of the things is for everybody out there, you hear the word life coach, and a lot of people might have a story in their head around what that means, or maybe they had an experience. But one of the things I like to tell people right out the gate is, especially with us, the Secret to Life coaching, is it's not just about hitting your goals or just some of those incremental steps. We literally help people create the life of their dreams, and I see it every single day.
Wow. Well, I love that. So how does one start? I mean, because we're all about this here. How do you, when someone comes to you and says, all right, I've got this idea, I've got this dream, I don't know where to start, my life is kind of chaotic. How do you get someone to sit down and wrap their arms around this kind of thinking?
You know, it's a great question because, again, it is always where you start. And that's one of the most basic and one of the best things that we offer. Again, you could share your dream. And what we always talk about is, why haven't you achieved that dream? And it's not a point to beat someone up or have them be upset at themselves, because what we actually do, and this, again, is your first step, would just be a free session. Our coaches are trained to identify the subconscious block that has been stopping you from achieving what you want the entire time, and they'll analyze and get some of those for you in that first 30-minute session.
Really? Wow, that's pretty powerful, because anything that's subconscious has been there for a while and they're not aware of it. And so in that first session, that is a great way to get started.
It's really powerful, and again, so many people, there's a lot of personal development stuff out there, there's a lot of coaches, there's a lot of this, and the thing that I've seen, because I've been around this industry of personal development for over 9-10 years now, I have never seen anything as effective as this. Because again, using muscle testing, they're able to identify that exact belief, and we believe that your beliefs create your reality, just like you're saying, things that have to do with the subconscious. Mm-hmm. They will actually identify it, get rid of it, and then replace it with something that's going to serve you and help you hit your goal.
Okay, now I heard muscle.
Mm-hmm.
Muscle. Tell me, how are you doing this? So is this something we get hooked up to something, and like a lie detector test, and we have a reaction that you can read?
Absolutely. You know, a lot of chiropractors nowadays are using this. It's very common. What happens is that the body is strong when it has something serving it. And a basic test, and this is something we teach a lot of our retreats, all of our coaches know how to do this, is when you say your name, there's a way to actually test the way that your body reacts by how strong your muscles are.
Really?
So if your name is Brandy and you're actually testing how is your body reacting, it's going to be strong. And if you say your name is Bob, the body's going to go weak because it actually knows that it's not truth. Now, this is definitely one of the more advanced techniques, but it's extremely powerful. Again, chiropractors around the world have been doing this for a while now, and we've actually found a way to utilize it to find out what's going on in your mind, to get rid of what's not serving you and replace it with something better.
Now, what if somebody's like super stubborn, or they just really have believed a lie for a very long time?
You know, that's a really good question, and I can tell you that we deal with that with everybody, even myself when I started going through the coaching, because your beliefs that you've had, especially one since a young age, can be very strong. And we kind of talk about it as like survival. Your body is set up, it's your subconscious thinks it's trying to protect you. And maybe at one point it did, maybe at one point this belief served you, like I need to protect myself. You know, we could use an extreme example of someone who is afraid of big crowds, right? Mm-hmm. They are completely afraid. They don't want to go into that big crowd. No matter what happens, they're not going to do it. Now, when they were younger, maybe this was a protection mechanism. But now it's not serving them as an adult as they want to further their career or they want to go to their kids' soccer games and things like that. We'll actually, again, with the same technique, be able to identify that belief and get rid of it. So it's not holding you back from doing the things you want to in life anymore.
If you're just joining me, I am visiting with Terha Tullius, and we're talking about the secret to life coaching. I find this so fascinating. Let's stick with what we were just talking about here, because really, aren't we talking about fear?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So basically, you get to the core, you figure out the fear, and then what? How do you take the person to the next level?
Well, and that's the beautiful part, and we always talk about celebrating wins. We had a client who, within one session with a lifelong childhood friend, they were actually at a hotel, and I'm glad you pinpointed on fear, because that is something that everyone can relate to on different levels. He was extremely afraid of heights. One of our coaches, Jim Markman, did a session with this gentleman in the hotel. They were in San Diego, and he had never been able to go out into a balcony. He hated heights. He was deathly afraid. He couldn't even get next to the window. After doing the technique, he was actually able to walk out, sit on the patio with his family. They were able to eat, and it was the first time in this gentleman's life he'd been able to get over that fear. So basically, the next step is honestly to start enjoying life without that fear. And that's what we walk people through and take them to the next level even farther after that. But they get to learn what it's like to live without fear, to enjoy things without panic. And a lot of times, again, people think sometimes life coaching help you hit your goals. Yes, all this, but we're talking about enjoying life to the fullest, and everything else comes.
Well, if you're just joining me, I am visiting with Terha Tullius, and we're talking about enjoying life to the fullest, and we're talking about overcoming fear. What do you think of vision boards? Because I've got vision boards from I can't tell you how many years back, but I like it as a measurement. If nothing else, it helps me really solidify what it is I'm going after, but it also is a great barometer for me to look back on, because I'll forget, and I'll look back like 3 years, and I'll say, oh my gosh, that actually happened, Yeah. It's really funny, and sometimes we don't even appreciate or understand what we put out there and that it happened because we're not paying attention to what we did,
Yeah, I'm really glad that you said that. We always believe in giving more unused value. So for everybody listening, this is one of the most important, just a very important technique that we use. And there's something to be said about the vision board. Again, your mind absorbs these pictures. Now, you had just mentioned, too, we can also manifest the things we don't want. I had a client who created a vision board. Now, at the time, he was struggling to get a job. He couldn't keep a job, and he had this $1 million yacht on his vision board. What he actually was doing is every time he looked at that board, he was feeling so bad, he started manifesting things he didn't want. So we actually reanalyzed with him. Again, we evaluate everybody with exactly where they're at. We changed the things on his vision board. He was able to hit those, which gave him that feeling of success, and then he was able to recreate his vision board. So I think it's so powerful to start where you're at. It could be, something as small as a new refrigerator or wanting to get a new wardrobe. And then for some people, it will be a $10 million house, and they will get that too. But it's just making sure that when you look at that board, you're feeling good, that you're not feeling in a place of lack, that you don't feel bad, you don't have it. You want that board to make you feel incredible, and that's going to help you manifest what you want from that vision board.
It's also, I think, interesting. I've noticed that when I am not very specific, that when I look back on my board, that something probably happened. Like I'll take a picture of something, and if I didn't write down what it was I was actually looking for, it was funny because I could look at the picture years later and say, well, that kind of really did happen, but it just didn't happen the way I thought it was going to happen because I wasn't specific,
Right.
I just sort of threw it out there.
Yeah, and that's a great point, too. I have two really amazing points, just nuggets of gold for those listening, is we talk about 3 ways to manifest. You can be specific. I want that watch. You can be, I want this exact watch. I want this Rolex. You can be general. I want a new nice watch. You can also go with a feeling. So something that's so powerful, again, that we talk about in our first recommendation is if you can, go with a feeling. Because then the universe is going to bring something into you that gives you that exact feeling versus if you say, how many of you out there have manifested something, I want this new watch, I want this new watch. You get it, and you don't feel that great. You go, oh, I got it. Versus if you were to go with a feeling, the universe will tend to bring in better than you can imagine. And that's the second part. We have talked about the subconscious. sometimes you'll put things on a vision board or you want something specific, but your subconscious mind has, like, let's just say, I want a big promotion, but then you have instilled in you that money's bad, and if you make too much money, you're going to be greedy. You're counteracting a thought. Does that make sense?
No, I completely understand.
So your subconscious mind, until you do this work and eliminate these subconscious programs that aren't serving you, you're going to keep manifesting different things. That's why a lot of people with The Secret think, law of attraction doesn't work. It totally does, but they're not taking into account the subconscious thoughts that are being projected as well. So when you combine the subconscious release technique with a feeling, you will manifest every single time. And I have a great story with, I wanted a brand new car. And I said, you know what? And I was looking at like a Chevy Malibu, which was so cute. And this was a few years ago, and it's a great car. But I said, you know what, universe? I want to manifest a new car, and I want it to be better than I could possibly imagine. Within 3 months, and this was actually, this time when it happened was in 2012, I got a brand new 2013 Audi. And that is the gift from the universe. When you say better than I can imagine, then you will actually end up getting better than you can imagine. And your subconscious, too, won't be able to hold you back because you're not limiting yourself. You're leaving it open to the universe.
I like that.
Wait till you see. I'm excited. I can guarantee I'll be talking to you soon, utilizing that technique, the things that you'll manifest. It's amazing. And
I'll probably scare my husband.
Stories just like it.
Well, I have been one of those like visualizers and manifestors, but it's interesting. And if you're just joining me, by the way, we're talking with Terha Tullius, and I just want to make sure people know who I'm talking to, Terha. Yeah. But honestly, there's also something else that I want to say about this. And sometimes, and I say this to our kids all the time who are adults now, they'll be like, oh my gosh, it's so hard. And, they're out there and they're working and they're trying to make their mark. And, sometimes I have to stop them and remind them and say, you've got to pay attention. You're following your dream and you're working really hard, but the journey is part of the excitement. And if you don't embrace the journey to the end, then when you do get that thing that you've been working so hard for, it's so empty, you know? And we have to remember that it's all part of living in the moment and appreciating the fact that we're able to have that journey and then get there and then really bask in that moment.
Yeah, I love that point. And again, it goes back to when we talked about you can be specific, general, or a feeling.
Yes.
If you're projecting to the universe how you want to feel, it could be loved, appreciated, to feel safe. You will manifest these. And a lot of times with marketing and all the stuff that's out there, we think it's that watch that's going to give it to us. We think it's this that's going to, make us feel a certain way, this relationship. And then you're in it and you're feeling the same crappy way, if I can say so, because you're thinking that that's going to give you the feeling. 99% of the time we want something, it's because we want to feel a certain way. So if you start projecting how you want to feel to the universe, you will be amazed. I have a client who all she wanted was to feel appreciated. She was a mom of 5 kids, and not that they didn't love her and she didn't love them, but she never felt appreciated. When she started projecting that into the universe, her friends that came into her life, her work, her children, the way that they started talking to her changed. So that's so much better to get that feeling of appreciation versus, I wish my kids would give me gifts or, things like that, or, I wish they would, appreciate me more. It's not coming from that aspect. You're putting out that feeling, and then you will be amazed, again, at all the ways that feeling will come back into your life.
Well, Terha, this has been just a joy talking to you, and I always love having someone on the show that kind of has the same thinking that I do, because I'm always out there just, trying to get women and men alike to get off that couch and make some changes in their life. So it's so exciting. But I want my listeners to know how in the world they can contact you and the secret to life coaching. How do we find you?
It's, right now, again, the company is expanding. Everybody is being drawn into this. We don't believe anybody has to be an island. Go to thesecrettolifecoaching.com. Again, the first step, and you had asked earlier, get that free coaching session. We also offer, if this is something that's resonating to you, oh my gosh, I want to help people hit their goals too, I want to do this, We have a coaching certification program, so there's a few steps, but I would just get in right away. Start with yourself. Watch what changes and what you manifest just in a 30-minute coaching session. And I want to hear the stories too. On the TV show, from your stories, you can write into us on the website, and I would love to hear the results that you guys get.
You heard her. She wants to hear your stories. So get out there and manifest and then let Terha know. That's exciting, Terha. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you'll come back and visit us soon.
Absolutely. It was a blast, and I can't wait to hear your stories too.
Well, thanks, Terha.
Have a great day.
You
Bye.
too. Bye.